Can you raise up the documents you have with you?
Yes, I can.
Raise them up. So the court can see you raise them up. Raise them in your hands.
Yes, they have the documents. I can't see any document with him. Sayonende, can you see any document in his hand?
Can you raise the documents, your documents, copies of your documents? Can you raise them up, Mr. Alimonos?
Okay.
Yes, raise them up. Are those documents you're referring to?
Yes, they are.
I thought I see the tell documents and evidence, madam.
Registrar.
I don't have no objection.
Yes. For the handling of this document, counsel. What title is the document?
Number 6 is how precious in my situation.
Last one. Is that all the documents evidence environment response, contract expired, date of session of appointment 26, later dated 10th September 2019, title benefits 87, dependent human resource policy manual 88, Excel sheet statement a breakdown of payment pensions 89, payslip October 2018 exhibit 10, emails of 15th, 16th, 21st September 2021 and 14th March 2022 together exhibit 11. Claimant solicitor letters of complaint dated 28 March 2023 and 12 April 2023, exhibits 12 and 28. Defendant's responses dated 4th April 2023, 17th April 2023, and 17th May 2023, exhibits 14, exhibit 13, 13A, and 13B. Remand notices dated 24th May 2023 and 31st May 2023. Exhibits 14 and 14A respectively.
As the call pleases. Grateful, my lord. Mr. Limonos, what do you want this to do for you?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. I want the court to enter judgment in favor of my entire claims.
That will be all for the witness.
Senior Knights. Citizens Commerce. That's it. Let us stand up. Mr. Ayorinde, you might have to come forward, sit with Leonard Sik. Mr. Good, for the purpose of this, can he sit with you, please? Please. Come this way. Leonard Council, you move forward. Miss Ian, can you move close to the Leonard Sik? You can't go down. So you might have to come and stand here, Mr. Ayorinde. Sorry. So he can hear you. You can proceed.
Good morning. Have you candidates it's not
Mr. Limonos, you're going to be asked questions by the lawyer for Honeywell. So you are to answer every question he asks you, okay?
Okay. Okay. As long as I can hear it.
Okay, good morning again. Let's see okay.
So I will stop my video so maybe I can get a better connection, voice connection.
Islam. Okay, maybe you can use your sisters. You can go back and use your sisters. So you can sit on the please move in. Let's
Mr. Limonos, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Oh,
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, good morning. I'm going to ask you some questions. Please, I need very quick and direct answers. Is that okay?
Okay.
Could you please put your camera on? I'd appreciate it. It's cross-examination, and the court needs to see your demeanor.
My camera is on now. The only thing is I have to get too close to the speaker to hear you.
Okay. Let's try and make progress. Now, Mr. Limonos, when you joined the employment, of the defendant.
I joined employment in...
No. Please, let me finish my question.
Okay.
When you joined the employment of the defendant in 2018, you signed 2 different contracts of employment. That's correct.
I only signed 1 contract.
You only signed 1 contract?
Only 1 contract.
Okay. I'm going to show you...
And that contract, along with the employee handbook, is what has been tendered here.
Okay, I'm going to show you a document. And just to make it easier, that document was attached to our statement of defense, which I'm sure you've seen because you filed a reply. You filed a second witness statement or note in response to it. My Lord, with the kind permission of the court, I want to show him for identification for yes. Now, could you please look at that document, right? It's dated September 3, 2018. It's attached to the statement of defense that we served on you. I'll give you a September 3, 2018, my Lord. Have you identified the document? It's in the
only document I've signed, a copy of which is with me now, has been tendered in this case and is with my lawyer. I've signed no other document, no other contract.
Mr. Limonas, I hear you, but I am saying I want you to
any other document is been fixed or not in my knowledge.
Okay, Mr. Limonas, before you start talking about a document that is not in your knowledge, right, I would like you to go to the bundle of documents that you've been given, I'm sure, by your lawyer, and to pull out that document.
It's right here with me.
You responded to it. Okay. I'm going to show you a document, right? Mr. Limonas, can you please look at your screen, right? I'm showing you a document. Can you see it?
I can see it, but I don't know any of this document.
No, just
I don't know anything about this document. This is a document I signed with Julia.
Hold on. Do you recognize this signature?
Yeah, the thing is, anybody can take pages and put them together as they like. This has been in my archive in Greece.
Please answer my question. Do you recognize this signature?
I've only signed 1 document, which I've given to my lawyer, and I've tendered for this case. I have not signed another document.
To identify. Do you know this signature? You don't?
I have not signed any other document than the one I've given.
Okay. Is this your handwriting? Is that your
There may be some documents, some pages missing from that document. I cannot see it. I don't know it.
So you agree that this is your writing, but you're saying some pages are missing.
Well, I have this document with my handwriting right here. It's right here. Can you see?
I seek to tender this document.
And that's the one I've given to my lawyer.
We will address it in our
tender for this case.
Tender. And I do this, my Lord, pursuant to Section 199 of the Evidence Act, which allows us under cross-examination to confront a witness with his previous statement. And also under Section 200 of the Evidence Act, which, amongst other things, allows us to test the credibility of a witness. under cross-examination.
Yes, my lord, I will object to the document being tendered to our witness. I'll give you this. Let's go to the document that comes from the defendant. Which witness has denied knowledge of. So it's not his documents to say you want to protest. Yes, sir. Yes, I agree, madam. Madam, I'm saying he should come through his witness document. But if he says he wants to tender because the man has said, I don't know this document.
No, he said he did not send it to me. The document was uploaded in there.
Madam,
When he sent it to me.
madam, it's beyond that. If I recall correctly, madam, I'm so sorry. Madam, the person was told, asked that he signed two contracts. He said he only signed the one tendered to his lawyer. This is not, and he was shown this, and he says he doesn't recognize this document. That's my point. It can come to their witness in their defense. I have no issue with it. But to our witness, I will say it's not his document. It cannot be said that, his data is state at this point.
My lord, in order to save the time of the court and not to, I will withdraw it and tender it through my own witness so that we can move forward, my lord, and make progress. Subject to your lordship's permission. Okay, Mr. Limonas.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Limonas, I would like to talk to you about one of the reliefs that you have asked this court for. Are you listening to me, Mr. Limonas? Yes. Mr. Limonas, can you hear me? I think we've lost him, my lord. No longer. I think we've lost him. My lord, I think the witness has dropped off the call. There are only three. We'll probably dial back in.
It's back on that.
Thank you. Mr. Limonas, can you hear me now? Mr. Limonas. Mr. Limonas, you are muted. Could you please unmute yourself? And if possible, turn on your camera.
Mr. Limonas, please put on your camera and unmute yourself. The session is still ongoing. Can you hear me now? Mr. Limonas, you are muted. Unmute your device and put on your camera. I don't know why it's... Yes, sir, that's very true. But just a minute. I think it's
Hello.
on now.
Okay, Mr. Limonos, can you hear me now? We're losing.
I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. So I need to ask you some questions so that we can round this up. So please, let's have some very quick answers. Now,
Okay.
one of the reliefs that you have asked the court for, that you've asked the court to grant you, relates to an incentive bonus.
Please, can you speak a little louder? Ask me again.
I said one of the reliefs that you have asked the court for is what you call an annual incentive, 87,000 euros. Do you recall that? Do you recall? He has muted himself.
Mr. Limonos, please unmute yourself and put your video on. Okay, it's unmuted.
Okay, Mr. Limonos, you asked the court to give you 87,000 euros. You say that it is an annual incentive that you are entitled to.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, you will recall that when your contract expired, your contract was signed in 2018 and it was for an initial period of 2 years. When it expired in 2020, you signed a contract renewal letter. Is that correct?
It's correct.
Okay. Now, that contract renewal letter, my lord, the document I'm referring to has been admitted in evidence as I believe Exhibit C5. C5 in evidence, my lord. I would like you to look at that renewal letter. Do you have it in front of you?
The agreement with a head of HR was that the contract remains completely unchanged.
Mr. Limonos, please, I'm the one asking the questions. Okay, let me ask you the questions before you start trying to second guess me. Now, please look at that letter, right? And I'm referring you to the paragraph that has, let me count it, paragraph 2. Paragraph 2 of that letter lists what your financial compensation will be. Is that correct? Paragraph 2, my lord. Let me help you to make things faster. The paragraph says your annual gross guaranteed base compensation remains 90,000 euros and additional location allowance of 4.8 million naira. These amounts will continue to be paid monthly in arrears, net of taxes and other statutory deductions as applicable. Have you seen what I just read?
Yes.
Now you will agree with me that that paragraph and indeed the entire letter. Let's cut this. So you agree with me that that paragraph and the entire letter makes no reference to this annual incentive that you have claimed.
When I verbally spoke with the head of HR, after we discussed, she denied paying any of this incentive. I told her we can discuss this later, but the contract remains completely unchanged as originally written. What she did is she brought another contract to me in my office while I was busy, and she told me please sign. There's nothing different between the two contracts you signed. And that's how I signed that second contract, the renewal, in other words.
Hold on, please, Mr. Nweneka. Sorry, madam. I can go on. Okay, fantastic. Now, let's talk about the duration of your contract. Your contract started in 2018 and ended in 2023. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you agree that in between this period, the COVID pandemic occurred?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's talk about your domestic staff.
Yes.
Did you hire any domestic staff while you were in Nigeria?
Of course.
You did?
Of course.
Good.
I never received the allowance. She was walking into the compound every day.
Hold on. Yes. Did you pay this domestic staff that you claim you hired?
Of course.
Good. So I take it you have bank statements that show your transfers to this domestic staff. That's correct.
I always drew cash money and I gave her. She doesn't have a bank account even.
I see.
But the allowance is the allowance on the contract. The allowance was never issued to me. The contract speaks of an allowance.
He's saying that he always paid her cash.
She doesn't have a bank account.
She doesn't have a bank account, so he always paid her cash.
And I covered her housing, and I also covered her medical whenever she got sick. But the allowance was never given to me.
Did you ever formally request reimbursement for this domestic staff from Honeywell?
Well, at the beginning I did.
How?
They wouldn't give me the allowance.
How? Did you write letters to them?
I spoke with them. I spoke with personnel, and they knew that I hired a person.
So it was verbal.
And it appears on the contract, 600,000 a year for domestic staff. They should have just issued the allowance.
You
and
have no
I could see her every
documentary
morning that she was entering the site and my apartment.
Okay, so you have no documentary evidence.
And she was the
showing
one that was opening the door
this
for them in my absence.
Mr. Limonos, you have no documentary evidence to show that you paid this domestic staff.
Well, I can send her to you to see her if you like. I mean, there's no document. I was paying her every month cash.
All right. Now, let's talk about your pension. One of the claims you have made before the court, or one of the reliefs you are seeking, right, are contributions, pension contributions that you claim that your employer was supposed to have made. Is that correct?
Yes.
Good. Are you aware that the statutory pension scheme in Nigeria is a two-way street? My Lord, I was asked.
Sorry, repeat.
Attention to the fact that one of his reliefs that he's seeking from the court relates to an alleged non-contribution towards his pension under the pension reform scheme.
I know that all employees, whether citizens or expatriates, are entitled to pension as per employee handbook.
Why don't you
without
wait?
discrimination.
Why don't you wait for me to ask you the questions before you give me your prepared answers? Please answer the questions that I ask you.
Speak a little louder, please. So,
My lord, I was just about to even ask him about the pension. So my question to you about the pension is that, are you aware that you as the employee were also supposed to contribute by law to that pension?
the pension should be over and above my salary. But
Mr.
Honeywell
are you
should have done.
aware that your salary, that the pension, he said it should be over and above his salary. That's what I heard him say, my lord. Yes. Are you aware, right, that deductions ought to have been made from your salary towards this pension?
Well, things should have been dealt with by Honeywell at the very beginning.
Were those deductions made? Mr. Limonos, were deductions
I am not aware
made?
of Honeywell paying any pension.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I am not aware of Honeywell paying any pension or telling me about payment of any pension.
So your money was not deducted towards this pension?
Well, they deducted the money they deducted.
I'm sorry?
They deducted whatever they deducted. 1,000, almost 1,588 euro every month.
For pension from your salary? My lord, he just said they deducted whatever they deducted. Yes, that's the answer. Now, just to confirm to the court, you are a citizen of Greece.
Yes.
Is that correct? You are not Nigerian.
No, but I've worked 24 years in Nigeria.
So you were in Nigeria as an expatriate?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. My lord, that will be all for the witness. Thank you, Mr. Limonos.
Yes.
Well, no, really. That is the case.
Mr. Arendelle,
Yes, my lord, we have the message that was in court.
I will take a date case.
Okay.
So I can also take others.
I agree that my against that other as a public.
System. Yes. Witness. Teresa, son, put that. I think it's just 13. And then I say it's not convenient. The person said, this, the 20, 13, I've seen the 13, can have arrived at many things. It's convenience, it's not. That's it, but six convenience? Oh, yeah. This case is adjourned to 13th of March 2024 for defense. Thank you. Yes.
Sorry. You can log out now. We're through. You can log out. Okay.